to introduce to you Mario Reyna, Executive Director of RioPlex, who will share insights into how RioPlex is considered the gateway to the future of trade, investment, and innovation. Mario, as the Executive Director of RioPlex, leads efforts to strengthen cross-border economic development and international investment. He previously served as the Dean of Business, Public Safety, and Technology at South Texas College, and held leadership roles in the U.S. Air Force, including Command Staff, Financial Officer at Air Force Special Operations Command. A decorated veteran and experienced consultant, he has served on multiple boards focused on workforce readiness, regional planning, and industrial development. He holds a master's in public administration and several specialized military and leadership certifications too. Please join me now in welcoming Mario Reyna.
Well, good morning. It's good to see all of you. You know, there's a great writer by the name of Miguel Cervantes, and he wrote a book called Don Quixote. And in that book, Miguel Cervantes, Don Quixote has a wild imagination. And he thinks of this Dulcinea de Toboso, that was his goddess. The only problem is that it's not real. But RioPlex is real. RioPlex is real because we have great people that put this event together. You know, Joaquin Spammer and the folks like Astrid, Ingrid, Brenda, all of you. There's about 10 or 13 of you that put this event together. And because of you, you know, RioPlex will be the gateway to the future. Okay. You know, there's a great brand in the world that we all know. It's called Coca-Cola. You know, Coca-Cola was started in 1886, and when it started, it had a deficit. It did not make any money. You can go anywhere in the world, even the Sahara Desert, and you will find a can of Coca-Cola. So RioPlex is designed for growth, just like Coca-Cola, and RioPlex is going to be seen all over the world in the coming future. You know, we are a unique location. You know, the opportunity to be located where we have so many assets is just incredible. And just like the previous speakers were saying, you know, we have so much, but the world needs to know where we are. And that's the purpose of RioPlex. And soon, they will know that we are in the middle of the North American continent. You know, RioPlex has lots of cities and towns. And when you have this much interaction, a lot of great ideas come to mind. And RioPlex is a result of all these communities that we have. This is why we are here today, because we had a discussion. And as a result of that discussion, RioPlex came to being. You know, we had meetings and meetings and meetings, and we had 50 names of what we were going to name this location, this marketing region, and RioPlex was created. So this is what all this stands for. Lots of collaboration with all the cities and towns. You know, I think we have been saying this, and we have to believe that we can make our region the best industrial and business area for anyone that wants to come to our region. And the idea that, that we will promote RioPlex to the rest of the world. And this is a great location, Houston, where we have consulates from different countries that are here to listen to our presentation. I want you to know that RioPlex is going to pay you lots of dividends. You know, this particular slide brings to mind that when you look at the location that we're in, think of it as two continental plates hitting each other. So what happens when two continental plates hit each other? Things go up. I think all of you are the Himalayas. That is a result of two continental plates hitting each other. What's going to happen to RioPlex? We will go up because we are at the center of the North American continent. And that's what we are going to do because all of you are here because you believe that this is going to happen. When NAFTA was created, it was created because the creators knew that we were going to have to compete with Europe and compete with, China and the Asian world. Those are the numbers. You all know the numbers. What is unique about our location is that all those economies that are being played right now, RioPlex is in the middle of it. And whenever you have so much integration, so much merging, we're going to get the benefits of all this interaction. And I think Joaquin earlier said, because of the current economic environment, he said, we won the lottery and we didn't even buy a ticket. So, this is what's going on. And Joaquin, I don't see you, Joaquin, where are you? Oh, there you are. That was a great one, Joaquin. We won the lottery and we didn't even buy a ticket. So we expect a lot of great things to happen, and organizations are already calling us, so we're going to do great. These are the numbers. I think a lot of times when Joaquin tells me that he will go out someplace in the world and he would tell them, I'm from a particular city, and they would say, where is that particular city? So he would have to pull up a map and, this is where I'm at. So when you think of this area, you need to recognize that we have about 3.5 million people. 3.5 million people puts us in the same category like Baltimore. It's going to be very easy to sell 3.5 million people. It's going to be very easy to describe all the assets that some of us have talked about. Nowhere on the US-Mexican border do we have the kind of assets that we have in the RioPlex region. Not even San Diego. Not even San Diego. When you can think about that we have one of the most dynamic companies in our area, SpaceX, and Joaquin will tell you that people think that Boca Chica is in Florida. Well, SpaceX is in the RioPlex area. And then we have a fantastic port. Can I say it's a deep water port now? If it's not, it's going to be a deep water port very soon. And that's going to change the dynamics in the RioPlex area. And then when you think about all the crossings, and we even have a chalan. I don't know if you folks know what a chalan is, but we have a chalan that is pulled by hand. I've been on the chalan. So we have all these assets, and we're going to tell the world why this is such an important area. We talked about this already. This is a very, very significant number because it shows that we have mass. We have a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you more about these people in a little while. Okay. You can take this one out. So the judge talked about this earlier, and he talked about the many great institutions that we have in RioPlex. UTRGV is RGV-wide, you know, from Rio Grande City all the way to Brownsville. You know, they have easily over 30,000, 35, 36,000 students, and 33,000. So between UTRGV and another great institution that I used to be in, South Texas College, you know, these are numbers from 2023. You know, look, STC is doing fantastic. STC is the engine for economic development because between STC and UTRGV, they produce all the human capital that Judge Cortez talks about. So not only do we have STC, we also have TSTC, which is in Harlingen. We also have Texas Southmost College in Brownsville. And we also have a young institution called Texas A&M. So between all of those institutions, you know, we have over 70,000 people attending college. UTRGV, Dr. Salvador Contreras did a research not too long ago, and between 2018 and 2022, 86,000 graduates were produced, but not only these institutions, but by the proprietary schools that we have in the valley, in the region. So 86,000. I'm not even counting what is being produced in the northern Tamaulipas, and they have great institutions. Autónoma de Tamaulipas, they have El Tec de Reynosa, and they have Valle del Bravo, I believe it's called. And they also have another school that belongs to a friend of mine, Instituto Internacional de Estudios Superiores. And I think some of you know Rosendo. So they are doing fantastic also, and I even taught a class at IIES. And I remember there were 70 students, and those students are fantastic. They're doing extremely well now. Wow, what a great pictures, huh? That we know this individual. Joaquin Spammer, Carlos Garcia, Martin, George, Rene, and Esteban. Thank you so much for being part of RioPlex. You know, I think, you know, why invest? Why haven't you invested? Probably a better question, you know, because this is the best location. The best location to be at because we have obviously the ability to do business across the border. We have the ability to produce a lot of human capital. You know, I talked about the number of people enrolled in college. When you look at the region, high school seniors, just in the RGV, over 80,000 high school seniors. Imagine, you know, what is going on right now in the RioPlex area. We have so many people that are looking for a better opportunity. And this is what RioPlex is going to do. It's going to give everybody an opportunity. Industrial growth, obviously, and then we have trade, logistics. Yes, these are all regions, these are all sectors that I think we're going to do extremely well. This was mentioned earlier. You know, we have 20 countries, and very soon we're going to have 20 more. And the momentum that we are building with RioPlex, I think in the near future is going to produce excellent results. We have the ability, we have the skills, we have the talent to work in any of these sectors. So we welcome any questions, any opportunities from anyone that wants to be involved with us. All these sectors are areas that I know we have the skills to work in. Yes, you know, I think we have a very large region. We have lots of organizations. We're going to talk to everyone. We're going to ask them to join us. We're going to align them to what our mission is and our vision. And I know that they will work with us. I know they'll do that. You know, the regional branding, let me go back a little bit. You know, so the regional branding, that is key. You know, one of the things that we talked about when we started this whole process of RioPlex, we wanted to make sure that people saw us on the map. So you will see that a lot of things that we do will have somehow a map locator for RioPlex. So this is extremely important. There's a lot of synergy. We want people to go out of territories and go visit them and come back, but do it so under the name of RioPlex. That's it. You know, this is, Joaquin, this is where we merge. This is where we merge at the border. So I truly believe in this, and I hope all of you do too. We are real. We are real. We're not going away. We're going to continue moving forward. And I thank all the CEOs and all of you that are here, because if it wasn't for your support, we wouldn't be here. So thank you so much.